So it's another pretty packed episode. So we just fire straight into a single swap.
Absolutely. So, as Ned was just saying there, he gave me Endarkenment by Anaal Nathrakh. So this was released on the 4th of August earlier on this year. It's the first of two singles that were released from the band's latest album of the same name at the start of this month, so the 2nd of October, making this their 11th studio album to date. It's approximately 3 minutes and 55 long, so just under 4 minutes. The band themselves have been described online as an extreme metal band, as Sned's just said. They originally formed in Birmingham back in '99, so they've been on the go for quite a while now. The band are currently signed up to Metal Blade Records. Fellow artists include the likes of Killswitch Engage, Behemoth, the Black Dahlia Murders, and Dragon Force, to name but a few. Interesting fact, their name, which I instantly perceived as being some sort of Star Trek Klingon reference for some reason, and I'm not a Trekkie at all. I don't know how I got that into my head, but it's actually Irish and means snake breath.
It does sound like something that like Worf would shout in anger or something, doesn't it?
Hi. Yeah, and it's apparently a reference to John Boorman's 1981 film Excalibur, sorry, as in King Arthur's
Yeah.
Excalibur. I've never seen the film myself, but I just thought it was quite an
No.
interesting fact. As for the song itself, as you might expect from a band that were selling a t-shirt with a severed pig's head with cocks for eyes, this song is pretty fucking brutal. It opens with a punishing guitar riff, an insane, frantic and pulsating double bass pedal, courtesy of either Mick Kenny or some drum programming whiz bottery, and what sounds like a looped demand. I'm not going to be able to pronounce this. I've written it down. Um, demonical,
Like a demon.
like a demon.
Yeah.
There is a looped scream that sounds a bit like a demon at around the 8 second mark. Um, Feels like you're away to witness the advent of Armageddon. Or peering into hell itself. The vocals follow much and such in the same vein for the most part. However, there's this interesting guitar melody or arpeggio at around the 40-second mark, and then there's a bit of a kind of tonal shift in the song whereby the singer and lead vocalist Dave Hunt's vocal delivery changes into somewhat more melodic, and I suppose with something more in keeping with the likes of the classical rock style. Like, I'm not a massive fan of the genre, so I mean, for me, it was kind of reminiscent of the likes of Iron Maiden, but I'm sure there's plenty other metal bands out there that sound similar. It feels really prophetic as well and quite monumental. I've kind of described it as being a really big moment in the song, I especially like the wee kind of guitar riff that follows it as well. I thought it all coalesced into something really quite cool, and this becomes somewhat of a refrain throughout the course of the song. I really quite enjoyed the bridge around the 20-second mark as well. It seems to be quite a lot of texture in there. There's some distant backing vocals. There's some vocal samples chucked in there briefly as well. So yeah, took me a little while to get into, to be honest. And as I said, I'm not a massive fan of the genre, so it's not really my cup of tea. But there's certainly elements of it in there that I really enjoyed. Um, so I don't know if I'm the best person to really rate it, to be honest, because I'm sure there's plenty of people that are absolutely gonna absolutely love it.
Yeah. I obviously knew that this wasn't really the kind of thing you listened to when I gave you this,
Yeah,
but just to sort of get, I suppose, an idea from someone who doesn't listen to this kind of thing, what the reaction would be to listening to it. I
yeah,
mean, I'm not. I mean, I'm more into metal than you are, but even this is sort of more extreme end is a bit foreign to me as well.
right,
I I've only known Anaal Nathrakh since their previous album, and particularly the song Forward, which I mentioned on the last podcast, which is basically it's got a sort of World War I theme, and then like the main riff is formed with like machine gun fire and like reloading sound
yeah,
effects. It's really really cool, um, and it was mainly that track that kind of got me interested in Anaal Nathrakh. So when this single came out, um, I was definitely excited to hear it, and I don't think it disappointed at all. Like it is very heavy, especially in the opening sections where the vocals are pretty terrifying, sort of growls and screams and whatnot, and it's just an evil sounding song. So yeah, if you're not used to that kind of vocal, you might have a bit of a hard time listening to it. But then you've got, like you say, the chorus is just like this massive moment, like a big soaring, bombastic, sort of quite grandiose kind of
Yeah,
moment. Like you say, it's a sort of full on kind of heavy metal vocal style, um, which is completely at odds with the kind of growls of the rest of the song, but it still has that kind of extreme metal kind of drumming, the intense kick drum that runs through it. So um, it's a really good track. There's like, even with that sort of clean singing section, there's still like these mad like harpy shrieks and gargle noises going on in the background. So um, it doesn't kind of discard that extremity altogether. But um, yeah, I think without that chorus, it might be
it'd be too intense for
it'd
me.
be probably too intense. Yeah, and I think that their back catalogue is far more extreme than this. I think what I've read is that this is like the album, at least, is probably their most accessible
Really?
so far. So, I mean, I don't know what it'd be like to go back to their debut album or something, but it's probably a difficult listen. But I have listened to some of the album, and it is pretty good. Like I've enjoyed what I've listened to. Um, so in Endarkenment as a lead single, I think was a lead single and an opening track and a title track. It's absolutely brilliant. Um, and um, I think as well it doesn't take itself too seriously, I suppose, with especially with where you've got album. I think I'm not sure if it's the album artwork or whether it's just the sort of T-shirt.
I think there's a song on the album though. Is it not like the pig with the libidinous eyes or something like that?
Libidinous eyes. It could be.
Libidinous eyes. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
If you've got even if it's just the merch and you're using an image of a pig's head with cocks coming out of its eyes, I mean you're clearly not taking yourself too seriously, I don't think. Or if you are taking yourself seriously and that's your imagery, then you're completely fucked.
aye, aye. That's proper psycho shit, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, but I think it's kind of a kind of a joke, I suppose.
Yeah.
So for me, this is like an 8 or 9 out of 10. I think it's a really good track. And yeah, I'm definitely going to listen to more of the album, and that might be something I do on an episode of The Itch. So
Well,
I
that'd
won't
be
subject you to the entire album.
good. Fair enough.
Um, cool. Okay, that was Endarkenment by Anaal Nathrakh.
That's why we rush in love.